On this week's show, we go over highlights from the latest patch, dive into the champion mastery system, and discuss the possibility of URF mode coming back. All that and more on this week's Waypoint. What's up, guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap. I'm your host, Garen. Riot released patch 5.5 late last week, and of course, everyone is talking about Bard. He's a hilarious champion to play with and against in solo queue, and I can't wait to see what he can do in competitive play. The LCS returns this week, but unfortunately, Bard is disabled, so we'll have to wait a little longer to see rotations like this one.
Rotation!
As we went over last week, turret rewards and turret shields received some major changes this patch. Definitely check out the last episode if you missed it for our in-depth analysis on those. I will say I think the changes are exactly what the game needed, and I think they'll be very noticeable in this first week back at the LCS. Another important 5.5 addition is the tank-focused Cinder Hulk Jungle Enchantment. This item not only gives tanky junglers a nice amount of health, it also increases their clear speed and bumps up their team fight damage. Lisa, Nidalee, and Rek'Sai aren't going anywhere, but it might be time for champions like Zac, Nautilus, and Amumu to make a comeback. And right now, Sejuani, who has never been a top-tier jungler, has the highest win rate in the entire game. Other than that, also the much-needed buffs to Kassadin's ultimate are live. He's not exactly back to his old must-pick, must-ban just yet, but his win rate does seem to be steadily climbing. Lissandra's Q damage was toned down a bit, and that's going to be fairly noticeable because it's such a spammable ability. She's still top tier though. The amount of CC and initiation she brings is just nuts. Nautilus is losing a good amount of damage from his shield, but in exchange his AoE slow Riptide has got a ton of buffs. The biggest of which is going from a 10-second cooldown at all ranks to a 5-second cooldown at rank 5. Throw in an item like Frozen Heart that gives him CDR and mana, and you're looking at a very powerful, very spammable ability. Combine that with the new Cinder Hulk item, and you have one hell of a scary tank. Next up, Urgot buffs. The base shield on his W is going down, but it's getting an 8% mana ratio in return, which totally fits in with the classic Urgot build. That's an 8% mana ratio at rank 1, so it's a really nice 1-point wonder as you skill for damage and build your mana items. His ultimate also got a cooldown buff, which I'm not going to complain about, but the shield change is definitely the big one. Finally, for tanky jungler buffs, Zac's W got a slight cooldown buff, and his leap's knockback has been buffed from a half second to 1 whole second. This is actually a much bigger deal than it might sound. The longer Zac can disrupt the backline with his E and his ultimate, the more of a threat he is. Again, he's a great champion to build Cinder Hulk on, and there's a good chance we're going to see a lot more of the big green blob. For a long time now, players have been asking a way to show off who their main champions are. If your name is Annie-Bot, there's probably a good chance you want to cover your entire client with as much Annie as possible and let your friends know that how much you love the champion. You know, if the name didn't already give it away. Enter the Champion Mastery system, which is live now on the PvE. The system will grade your performance in-game based on how well you do in the match and where you play the champion. From there, you'll start to earn points in that champion's mastery, leveling it up through 5 tiers. Each rank gives you a shiny crest for the champion, which ranks 4 and 5, offering a loading screen badge, custom emotes, and an announcement banner. Your 3 best champions will be displayed prominently on your profile page, as well as your total mastery score. Next up, good news for everyone. The much-loved Ultra Rapid Fire, aka URF mode, is coming back. Maybe. There are some snippets of text in the latest PvE patch that look very similar to what the original URF mode looked like back in 2014. So either URF mode is coming back, or it's a very cruel April Fool's joke by Riot, since URF mode originally went live on April Fool's Day. It would be pretty meta to make your last April Fool's Day joke an April Fool's Day joke by teasing it and then not going ahead with it. Although I'd almost like to see that just happen to see all the rage. If you weren't around for the original ultra rapid fire mode, it's exactly what it sounds like. Cooldowns, down. Mana costs, down. Damage, up. It made for hilariously hectic, fast-paced games with balance just completely thrown out the window. I think it was the first featured game mode, and I'd say it's one that players missed the most when it was gone. Mark your calendars, URF mode is probably coming back, or not, on April 1st. Hey, I want to take a quick second to show you guys this really cool League of Legends weapon collector set. It comes with 10 alloy weapons, including Sion's Axe, Ashe's Bow, and Wukong's Staff. Each are about 2 to 3 inches in length and have a really good weight to them. You can get this set right now for less than $15 just by going to gboffer.com/lolweaponset. By using that URL, you are directly helping support this show, so thank you. The URL again is gboffer.com/lolweaponset. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. For more video game news and content, head on over to GameBreaker.tv. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it on Facebook. We really do appreciate that. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LolNationTV. I'm Gary Gannon. You can follow me on Twitter @GaryGannon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.